I've glossed over a few technical issues which I want to talk about. The first of which is the interval of validity of an initial value problem. And when we talk about the interval of validity, this is literally the largest integral, or the largest interval over which the IVP is valid. So that's why it's called the interval of validity. And it's got to be the largest interval containing the initial value. So to talk about this in an example, let's go back and let's look at a differential equation that we've already solved. And that's y prime equals 1 over x times 1 minus x. And so if we remember, this had the solution. Y is going to be c times the absolute value of x over 1 minus x. And so if we think about where is our differential equation going to be valid? Well, this differential equation is not going to be defined at x equals 0 and at x equals 1. And so this kind of splits up our real line into pieces. So we have 0 and 1, and we know that it's not valid at 0 and it's not valid at 1. And so we need to think about what's the largest interval where it's valid. Well, it could be from negative infinity to 0, from 0 to 1, or from 1 to infinity. And so our largest interval where it's valid is going to be from 1 to infinity, because that's going to be the interval that contains our initial value 2. So we could solve this explicitly if we want. We know that y and I have x of 2. So we know that y of 2 should be 5, meaning that when we plug in 2 for x, we should get 5 for y. And on the other hand, if we plug in 2 for x, what we're going to get is c times the absolute value of 2 over negative 1, which is just 2c. And so that tells you that c is going to be 5 halves. So y is going to be 5 halves times the absolute value of x over 1 minus x. And this is going to be our solution. So this is our solution for all values x from 1 to infinity. Okay, and so this is our solution there. So I just want to put a little box around that. Okay, so that's our solution for 1 to infinity. Okay, and that's the interval, this interval here. You could write it as an interval from 1 to infinity, but that's our interval of validity for this IVP.